You know they say when you're nervous, you're supposed to imagine the crowd in their underwear. Now I'm just really uncomfortable. But in all seriousness, first of all, I would like to thank God for putting me up here today. Without him, I wouldn't be up here, and he's given me the opportunities that allow me to do so. I'd also like to thank my family, my hardworking parents, for just pushing me continuously and keeping me from being complacent in everything I do. And I'd like to thank my Penn Hills family for giving me an outstanding past 4 years. There are no easy answers, but there are simple answers. We must have the courage to do what we know is morally right. Ronald Reagan. What is courage? Well, I'm sure it has something to do with walking in the hallways during one of Mr. Caustic's infamous hall sweeps. Or maybe it has to do with surviving Mr. Babbitt's roast after having no idea how to take a simple derivative in his calculus class. But courage most definitely applies to trying anything fish-related in the cafeteria. In all seriousness, courage is something we've all been striving toward in some capacity over the last 4 years. Courage is the diligence to go outside of our comfort zone, put ourselves in a new environment, and work to achieve our goals. The courageous take on various forms. The drive of our boys basketball team allowed them to secure a spot in history as this year's 6A Whitfield champions. Our football team battled in the playoffs last fall, and members of the swim team broke records previously left untouched. Our theater arts students braved the stage and elicited several amazing performances throughout the year. And we all know it took a great deal of courage and money to study for those SATs. Whether it's athletics, academia, or anything in between, we should challenge ourselves to reach for personal excellence. There's always a tier to strive for, and who's to say we aren't the generation that reaches it? To be honest though, this isn't the courage I wish to speak about. I wish to see commonplace courage with some lasting importance. That is, the courage to be selfless. As stated by Thurgood Marshall, in recognizing the humanity of our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute. Whether we choose to acknowledge it or ignore it entirely, we live in a cruel world. In the same country where 1% of the population holds 38% of the wealth, we still have parents at home struggling to feed their kids. In the same country with the highest gross domestic product, we have 21% of children falling under the poverty line. And in this 21st century America, we continue to see the poor teen bullied, the old man laughed at, and the disenfranchised neglected. I'm proud to say that this class has come a long way since 9th grade. We've organized walkouts, created student unions, given blood, and volunteered our time for causes beyond ourselves. These events are perfect examples of how we should have contributed to our high school experience. Amidst adversity and despite our differences, we must continue to be united on the principles of selflessness. After graduation, our lives are taking unique paths, with each of us searching for our own measures of success and fulfillment. It is in these moments that we may get caught up in life and lose sight on what truly matters. We must put aside ourselves and be courageous in defending those who society has deemed lesser. Nothing has more value than what we do for others. Not the Ferragamo belt you bought with a fast food paycheck. Trust me, we all know none of us are rich. We've all had to grind for that $8 an hour. Not even how many relationships we've been in since freshman year, and for some of us that has been a lot. None will ever be the same as building a friendship with or supporting someone who truly needs it. We know how easy and appealing it can be to sit on the sidelines as things persist without change. Yet deep down, we also know how much rewarding it is to be the voice of the unheard. What I hope to challenge and inspire each of us to do as young adults in a world of so few compromises is be the truly courageous. Courage is a virus, and for us to succeed, it must infect everyone. Far too long have we let the poor child, elderly man, and the disenfranchised suffer alone. From the D1 athlete, the 4.6 GPA student, the band member, the musical performer, the artist, the gym class hero, and the shy kid in the back of class, we all have an important role to play as proponents of a better world. So let's go out and make the Penn Hills graduate more than where we're from. Let's make Penn Hills the values we stand for. Be courageous in offering the helping hand that no one else will. Be courageous in sharing the wisdom that a young mind has never heard. And above all else, be courageous in supporting the person that no one else would. We can all do our part by making the harder choices that will contribute the most to society and greatly impact our future. As we lead to the next chapter of our lives, have the courage to be selfless and do the right thing. In the words of Steve Jobs, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They always somehow already know what you truly want to become. So let's all be courageous and be the person who will selflessly impact the lives of others. Best wishes to all, thank you, and congratulations to our Penn Hills class of 2018.